Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daisha. I am the owner of PGL Planners, and if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification, especially if you love digital planning, you love digital Bible journaling and study, Samsung tablets, all that jazz, then you're in the right place. I have a ton of tutorials on my channel, different ways to use our tablets and my planners that are in my shop. So if you're new here, don't forget to check some of those out. I'm sure some of the questions that you might have would be answered in one of those videos. But with all of that being said, today's video is going to be an updated Touchnotes tutorial. I have been waiting for him to kind of mellow out on some of the updates so that I could do this video without feeling like I'd be missing information. And I feel like now we're at a good space. So I want to start from like the basics and then work my way up to the more intensive features that I feel like Touchnotes has to offer. And then you'll see tomorrow I'm going to post a video on how you can do a workaround for merging documents into a current PDF, because if you're using an interactive PDF and you're looking to merge a PDF into the document, for some reason with Touchnotes you lose all the links in that merged PDF. So I found a workaround for that. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into it. If you're new here, Touchnotes is an annotation app for PDF and document, as well as note taking and all of that. So I've really been in love with it. This is actually the Touchnotes widget. I showed how you can get this. Once you've downloaded the app, all you'll do is just pull up your widgets here by holding the screen down, hitting widgets, selecting the Touchnotes widget, hitting add, and it's as simple as that. You'll have your most recently accessed notes and things like that right at the tip of your finger. We're going to be using my content planner for this particular tutorial, just because it's a smaller file. It'll be easier to kind of read through and understand all of that. But first, we're going to start out on the outside of the whole entire situation. So when you're first downloading Touchnotes, you're going to have what you would consider a bookshelf, which is basically all of the places. I'm sorry, you guys, I have to keep my phone on because my sister and my husband are at the store, so I just need to know if there's anything they need from me. But anyways, so you're gonna have a bookshelf, and it's basically where all of your documents will stay. You can have a favorite section here and all of those things. You can, if you throw away something and you want to recycle it really quickly, you can recycle. You have your histories, which is basically how often you've accessed certain notes. Back up all of your notes, so you can back up all of the notes that you have in there. You can restore notes from an older version when you were using this app. It has a user manual in here, which is extremely helpful. You have a cloud sync function, which means basically like how certain tablets and things like that will have a cloud. This is so that you can back up all of your notes into the account that you have linked here. So let's go over into settings, because there's just a few things that I prefer to have mine set up with. And if you followed my videos and you're like, okay, I wonder how she's doing that, maybe this could be of some use to you. And then we'll hop into the features that I feel like are really standout features that are great to know how to use. So first and foremost, in the other section setting, one of the things that I like to turn off is the show page navigation. I feel like it's noisy. If I can take away as much as possible to make this app feel less noisy, that's what I did. So I also took off show page number because I don't need to see that. I also, I like to have the pen case stroke number on mine to know what the size is for the stroke, because I do have a favorites pen case, because I do like to access the colors quickly without having to go through the whole one-by-one step situation. So that is definitely necessary. I also like to show the visited history. I don't like a page preview on the right, and I don't like to show undo on the right. So all of those things are turned off. I don't do the vertical continuous page, but that's totally a preferential thing. If you like to swipe up when you're doing your documents, then you'd want to leave that on. I personally have the horizontal continuous page turned off as well. I just did the panel horizontal swipe because I'm using digital notebooks and planners, so it feels more natural to just be able to swipe than to have a continuous page and all of that. So the only thing in this segment that's on for me is the panel horizontal swipe. I also have the right beyond the page, the paper turned off, because I found that I was getting more of a glitchy experience with that turned on. Like if I drag in stickers, and because that work on the outside of the page is on, sometimes stickers would disappear off the canvas, and that just was really frustrating me. So I turned that off. So if you're experiencing a lot of failures with the drag and drop feature, or things disappearing off into the great beyond, then you might want to turn that off as well. I did enable the double click to zoom and all of that. These things aren't as serious, but I will say to do the double click pin on your hyperlink to jump. You can still tap with your finger to do the hyperlinks, but it's nice if you really are just holding this to be able to double tap to get around the canvas. And of course, make sure you have your writing posture set up to what you use. You can do your pressure sensitive stuff over here, what you want your functions to be as far as your 2-finger tap, 3-finger tap, and 4-finger tap. I don't have any of these on, but if you click it, you can do one for selection, next pen color, pen case, undo, redo, show recently opened notes, note capture, which all are very useful. And I think at one point or another, I will set these up so that I can start to use those functions, because I do like functions like that in Procreate. So it would feel really good to have it when I'm digital planning on this app. All right, now let's go ahead and hop into the actual interface of the app. One of the things that I highly recommend is that you organize your app to where it's less up here and less going on. So normally I will have my pen case up here at the top, but when you go to like start clicking things like that, it can kind of block your colors and things like that. And even if you drag it over here, it can block these functions. So when I'm working, I will normally pop it somewhere. You can move it around fairly easy, but I hope that makes sense. Like organize your colors, like go ahead and get all the colors that you want in here, which is very easy. I'll show you how. And I say this because I just want you to understand the quick start. Color dropper. Pick your color, hit check mark, go to your pencil. You have it at the size, you have the color you want, and collect it to your pen case. Organizing the interface of this app is what's going to make it move a whole lot more comfortably for you. And the way that you'll do the organization, of course, these things I don't think you can move around. This is just set the way that it is. As far as like your text, your selection, your shape tool, which we're going to get into momentarily. But before we get into it, I just want you to feel more comfortable with your interface. So with this, you can actually take that off as well. But do I recommend that you take it off? No, because I don't like this side panel situation, and this is what the app looks like when you get it. I personally like it up here. So I put mine up here and I attach it over the name because I don't need to see the name of my document. So you can kind of just like slide it where it will attach, which you'll see it disappear. It goes from like a 3D to straight like into the thing. And that leaves you this space over here. And then, like I said, if you don't mind it covering the colors and the sizing of your pen or covering up something over here, then you can totally close that off as well. And now you have this clean workspace. But I personally like my pen case over here. Okay, now we can get into the nitty gritty of the app. The first thing I've been getting a lot of comments about, sorry you guys, okay. The first thing I've been getting a lot of comments about, or I've seen a couple of times, is when you're writing that you're experiencing a back button, like a back button situation or a closeout. The best thing I can recommend first, if you don't have these swipe functions done, definitely do that. But also this app has a wonderful thing here called full screen. And you can get it by going into here and hitting this little thing right here. It's like a little dash with a line underneath. It's gonna allow you to edit your menu bar. So the full screen function, I have mine added up here, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and add the merge PDF as well as the zoom to write. I don't really care to have the sticker function because I have a sticker book and I prefer that. But yeah, so once you do that, you can close it out and now you have your edited bar over here with your tools that you can use to enhance your experience with this app. Full screen. That gets rid of that experience that you're gonna have where you're ending up going back or closing out the app on accident when you're trying to comfortably write. So if you go on full screen, that's also gonna get rid of your time and all of that. But if you wanna get back to those things, you just easily swipe up and you have that floating experience where you can quickly get to what you wanna get to. So that's one way to alleviate that situation. Now that we have our swiping situation sorted, we have a more comfortable interface, we have our color pins stacked, we can talk about what's within this interface and some of the updates that he has done. So the pins and everything have pretty much been the same. I will say that if you write more than you do the text to write to turn on the simulation stroke, that's going to make your writing a whole lot more like neat over time. It's going to give you a smoother experience with the app. Let me clear, well, I'm not going to clear the page actually, because that'll actually, let me use this. Yeah. We'll get there. The eraser tool is fabulous. But anyway, so if you want to have your simulation stroke on, then that will help with your writing, as well as pressure sensitivity. I've never really played around with the pressure sensitivity. I think I have mine turned off actually on the app, which is why we're not seeing a difference going on here. But you can have your pressure sensitivity on, and you can put it up. Oh, I think it's because it's on simulation stroke. Yeah, see, now you can actually see a difference. And if I make the pen bigger, now you can see where that's, you know, actually different. So yeah, the simulation stroke, I suppose, would cause it to do that. Let me make sure I don't erase the word April, because that's from my thing. Okay, so now that we have an understanding of what some of these check marks are, I'm going to turn that back down, turn that back on. Now, auto recognition is on all of these, but you don't have to have it on to get a straight line. You just hold it and it'll create a straight line. If you do a circle and you hold it, it'll create a circle. So you don't necessarily have to have auto recognition on for that to work. You just need to hold the shape tool, or the shape still. Like if you're drawing a check mark, hold it, and it'll give you a check. I don't know why it's curved. The check mark for me in here is a little bit iffy. It always does this curved situation, but it just gave me like a pointer sign when I tried to draw a star. But yeah, it's not terrible. There we go. I guess the way I drew my star was just not as neat. But yeah, so you don't have to have the shape tool turned on or the auto recognition tool turned on in order for you to have a shape. You can just hold it still, which I really like. Makes it a lot easier to use. Now we're going to move over into the highlighter tool. There's a few things to talk about here, so let's go into something that has some text here. So this is my content insert for content creators who have planners and stuff like that, so that's why this stuff is in here, but we're going to review the highlighter. So in here, you're going to have quite a few things that you can take advantage of. One of those things would be, like I said, there's auto recognition, which you don't need. Your opacity. Of course, you'll choose your color and your width over here. So currently I have this blue color selected and I'm at the largest size available for the pen. And I have an opacity at 54% and I'm on the bottom. What does bottom mean? I just shared this in my Bible study, but for those of you who don't watch it, this will be useful. You see how we can still see clearly the lettering here? If we uncheck bottom and we highlight tutorials, I guess because the opacity is up a little bit. Let's turn it up. Let's do it on here. There we go. That's the point I'm trying to make. I guess if you're doing it on something that you've written, it won't show. But you see how on due date, how it's on top of due date? Like you can't really see the letters clearly. But if I go and hit bottom and I highlight performance, it'll let you see it better. So I guess if you've written something in here, like if I do the word wrong, and then I go to highlight this word, it's gonna always go underneath it. So even if I have bottom unchecked, it's still going to go underneath it. But if it's a document word that's already in here, like obviously I typed this when I created this product. So this is not something I typed in the app. It says platform on the insert. If I go to highlight this, it's going to show up on top, which makes sense. So basically it's allowing you the ability to be on top of something. And you may ask, where would this come in handy? Why would this be important? So I'm just going to show you briefly where this would actually be kind of a helpful tool to have. So let's go over into our planner, and we're going to get into what I'm doing right now in another video because it's kind of something that I want to show. in another, like I said, in another thing. But say, let's go into our trackers. Let me go to trackers for the month. We'll go to something like this. So say if I want to highlight this heart situation, if I have it, let me put it in the ones frame and it's unchecked for bottom, then it's not going to look as cute or neat because it's going to be sitting on top of that. But if I hit bottom, it's a lot easier for me to stay nice and clean. So if you're going to fill out trackers, having the bottom tool is actually quite convenient. But if you're talking about a sticker, let's go to the sticker book. If you're talking about like a sticker that like asks you to track or something like that, let's go to widgets. And let me see. Like if you have a widget that's like this, where it's clearly got a color situation going on, and you want your dot to show up on top. If I have the bottom checked and I'm trying to mark these numbers, it's going to go underneath it and it's not going to show. But if you have it unchecked, then you see how that dot shows now. That's where that's going to be handy for you as far as the highlighter tool, if you want to make a dot on something that's colorful and you want it to show. So that's definitely useful. Oops. I didn't realize I was going to get rid of the sticker too. Let's do... Okay, nope. See, and I still have to play with this eraser because, there we go. All right. So that covers kind of the highlighter tool. Now for the gel pen, it functions the same way as the other one, so we're not going to get too much into that. We're going to go back into the document here. We're not going to get too much into the gel pen. It's very self-explanatory. It's very similar to the one previous before that. Now your text to write tool. With this, you want to make sure that you have Scribble turned on or writing to text turned on in Samsung. There are tutorials, there are articles. I'm not going to go over that because I want to stay on course and within the app. But you want to make sure that's turned on. So basically, you want to make sure that your writing function is turned on in your tablet so that it recognizes that you're going to mainly be using your pen to work with the tablet and not the keyboard. That's not to say that you will never have access to the keyboard, but it just allows you to scribble. So this function is my favorite. I use it the most because my handwriting on this tablet, while can be neat, is not the best, especially if I have to write straightforward like this, which I do for work. I can't have it tilted in all of my videos, right? So having it like this is nice. If I want to write stop, I'm going to write it within the box and it's going to show up. Now, what's great about this app is if I keep writing and it goes outside of the box, it's still going to catch it. Now, you can't just start writing over here. You have to at least start within the box for it to continue. So, thank you for helping. You know, that kind of situation. It will go within the box. So, I love that. Then you can take your selection tool and you can edit what you've written, right? So apparently I've circled something that's in here. Oh, these are links. We're going to get into all that. Anyways, so with this, now I can change my font. I can change the color of my font. I can move my font from top to bottom. I can create a link with this. I can save it as a sticker. I can do all of those things within this sidebar as well as within this area and down here. You can underline this, and no matter what the font is, you can make it bold, which I absolutely love. So if you wanted to like bold this and you want it to go in and color it in using the bottom function, and having it like that, then you can easily go, it's too big, too big. We need this to be much smaller for that to work. Let's turn the opacity up. But you can easily go in here and you can color, and it'll be nice and neat, and it'll go underneath the text, and stuff like that instead of floating on the top. So you can really have fun with editing your documentation here is basically my point. So I really love the text tool. It is amazing. The shapes tool is what we were just, not what we were just talking about. The shapes tool is one of my other favorites, especially when you're talking about taking notes or doing any kind of schedule blocking, because you have access to all of these shapes over here that are very useful. You got the star shape, triangular, you've got a lot of different shapes. If you study anything that requires these things, that will come in handy. I normally only use the arrow, the star shape, or the square. But yeah, even the lines, like if you wanted to make a sticker in here, let's get a little creative. Let's make a sticker. Let me find a page that's semi-blank. I don't think, well, we'll just go with this. So let's make a sticker. Let's make this colored one. Well, let's make a little easy to-do list. Now with this shapes tool, you can take and fill it in with the same color, right? Now let's go back into the shapes tool and let's select the line and let's make it white. Okay, and now let's just draw some lines. I would be much neater if I were doing this for like actual sticker, but I'm just trying to quickly show you guys something. So let's move this. Okay. Now let's go in here and let's write the word notes. And let's change the font color to white. Let's bold it. And then let's make it bigger. So now we have the word notes here, and then let's go back into the shape tool and let's put a little star there in green. And one here, maybe one down here, and one down here. Now you've got this cute little sticker. And just to go ahead and segue into the sticker function, you can circle this whole thing and hit save as sticker. You can choose a folder, or you can just save it. And now let's go back to the stickers. Let's go, where is it? I don't often use it, but here it is. And you'll just hit add to note, and now we have that same sticker to shrink, make larger, whatever you want it to do. See how easily? And then what's great about this sticker is now you can change the color of like the outside and stuff like that. And then you can change the fill. So you can make it whatever color you want, which is cool. And then you can go in here and play around with the colors, however you want to do it. And boom. Like how cool, how fun is that? You can do that within this app, which is amazing. So let's go ahead and delete that. Now that we've gotten through the shapes tool a little bit there, let's move over into the cloud sync. This is really important. Upload means you want to upload the note you've been working in into the cloud. To download the note is as if you were on your phone and you were playing around in your planner or something, and you need the information that's on your phone to show up now on your tablet. You would then download it. All right, zoom right, which means exactly what it is. You're going to zoom in and you can write down here. So that means text to font as well. See how help is showing up here, but I'm writing it down here up close for those who need help seeing or just feel more comfortable having an up close situation. The text box isn't showing up here, which is interesting. Maybe they don't allow you to do it. They did at one point. I could have sworn I've done it before, but neither here nor there. We'll just get out of there. We'll just get out of you. I guess that's not allowed. Touchnotes. But anyways, the zoom to right is that. Now the merge we're going to skip over because tomorrow's video is going to be all about that, because there are some things that are a little unfortunate about it, and I just want to go over ways that can help, especially if you're buying inserts for me to put inside of your planner and you use Touchnotes. That video is going to be paramount to make that so much easier for you, and I don't want to elongate this video trying to shove it in there. All right, so now we've talked about the zoom function. This next function here for me in my lineup is going to be your system picker. This is basically for you to access your stickers, your pictures, all of those things. Of course, now we have the drag and drop, but I do use this every now and again, especially if I want to put a cover on something, but it'll basically give you access to all your files. So that's great. So we're gonna get out of there because we're not gonna do anything spectacular with that. And I highly recommend you still watch my other tutorial for Touchnotes because I go further into detail with this. I just wanna give some of the things that I feel have improved, updated, or just a further look into things that I have learned myself. Now, we've already gone over the capture tool, so I'm not going to get too far into that, just like I didn't get too far into the colors because that's in the previous tutorial. But you can just take a picture of a screenshot and you can use that to put anywhere, which would work really well if you have a to-do list in another part of your document or some notes that you want to put in another area of your document. That would be spectacular to use for that. Now, let's talk about one of the new functions that is pretty darn exciting. And it is the lock function. So when you click here, you're going to notice underneath edit is lock. That basically means the sticker is not going to move. So if I circle everything, it's only going to move the little color because I colored it in. The sticker's not moving itself. But yeah, that's going to keep it still, which is absolutely wonderful, fabulous. I'm so happy about that function. You have no idea. To be able to lock things in place so that it's not moving around all willy-nilly while you're trying to do things. Now, to unlock it, you will just tap it. I'm realizing I'm using my pen. You'll select the selection tool and you'll just tap it and hit unlock. Otherwise, there's still no movement happening here. And to get out of that, I just recommend hitting the pointer tool. With all of those things being said, I'm going to leave this video as it is because linking and merging is going to be tomorrow's video because it's going to play, like I said, a big role in how you're going to be able to merge your inserts into your planner. But I wanted to just give another more in-depth, updated kind of tutorial of this app. I don't believe there's anything else new per se added. Now, if you're wanting to know how to do fonts, that is a tutorial in itself, and that is already on my thingamajig, but there has been a slight change in the font situation, and I will say that it is so much better. So if you go to downloads and you know where your font is, which is extremely helpful for you to locate what you're trying to get going on, one of the things that I love, let me see if I can find a font. Let's go to the handwriting bundle. You see this font right here? This is an OTF. I just realized that it needs to be TTF. Let's go to files again. Sorry, you guys. I need to get one that is in TTF. That hasn't changed. You still need to have a TTF font. What do you mean no downloaded files? What are we talking about here? Like, I have plenty of downloaded files. Okay, here we go. Let's see if there's yes. So you see this TTF situation? If you press it, well, it worked on my sister's. I don't understand. But either way, yeah, there's a tutorial. It worked on my sister's where when you clicked it, it came into automatically. But it's very easy. You just import it from your actual, wherever you have it at. Touchnotes is embarrassing me again, as usual. But I'm trying to find a font really quick. Let's do this one because I know that, nope, it's not in TTF, it's in OTF. Let's go here. That one's in OTF as well. I feel like every font that I've downloaded, here we go. So if I wanted to do magical, I'll just press it and you see magical came up. Of course, I'm gonna delete that, which if you wanna delete fonts, you just hold it down and hit delete and it'll get rid of it. But yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I'm covering all of my ground here. Split screen is still the same, and I think I mentioned that in a previous video. You can do split screen of the same document or another document, and you can drag and drop across the screen. So if I wanted to bring in a sticker, which is why I prefer the sticker book situation, I can just drag it and drop it over, and it's in there very easily. The only thing about this, you see how I brought this sticker into here, and I want you guys to pay attention to this when you're using that drag and drop function. Make sure, that was a special moment between my son and I, that you go back to your gallery and you delete everything that you drag and drop, because it basically creates an image inside of your gallery. I don't know why, but just make sure you do that. Like, this is from my planning session earlier, all of these. So I'm just gonna get rid of those. But yeah, if you drag and drop, that's absolutely going to happen. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna delete that stuff, and yeah, I think that covers everything about what's new in Touchnotes as far as I'm concerned. You can rotate stickers now. I don't know if you guys noticed that you couldn't really do that before, or you could, but it wasn't as seamless as it is now. So that's new. The sticker function, as you see, you can do the circle one or you can do the one that's more detailed. You can change the sizing. You can choose what you want to erase, those kinds of things. He still has not fixed the insert from the web situation. You used to be able to insert images from the web in here, but you can't do that. But you can still copy and insert text, so that's nice. But you guys, just trying to make sure I cover my ground. I think everything else is good. If you have not visited the shop to try out the new planner system, you are missing out. It is an amazing... Sorry, you guys. It stopped on me and I'm not sure where, but we're going to go ahead and just stop here. I was just saying, if you haven't tried out the new planner system, to definitely check it out. It is in the shop already and she is fabulous. Ask anyone who has it what their thoughts are. They're enjoying it. I know I am. I literally cannot wait to get more inserts out. I just, you know, it's a quality thing. I'm taking my time, making sure that everything is everything before I put it out. But if you are still curious about more features on Touchnotes, I always recommend watching my Plan With Me's. I also have other tutorials and other videos where I show how to do certain things within Touchnotes. But with all that being said, you guys, I was gonna film the other video for tomorrow today. I still probably will, but considering how long this one took and the amount of work that I've been trying to put in, I probably will just edit this one and get it up and play my cards safe, because I don't want to give you guys a crappy video that is rushed. But anyways, with all that being said, thank you all so much for your support, for your love, and for spending time with me today. I hope you all have a blessed one, and that I will see you guys next time. If there's anything that you have questions about, please leave it in the comment section below. But keep in mind, I am not the creator of Touchnotes, and I have no contact with him whatsoever. So if there's something that's confusing that you don't know, I can try to help you, but more than likely, if it's something I don't know, I don't know. Okay, but anyways, again, goodbye, God bless. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe, hit that bell notification. I will see you all next time. Bye.